Hey there. So in my last video, I incorrectly identified the Instagram of the person who makes these masks and gave out her personal one. Her professional mask making Instagram is Hot Tea Kettle, which I'm going to link down here. And she has an Etsy and Macari, and this is fucking cute. This is not a paid endorsement. I bought these damn masks. But this is my mayor, Lori Lightfoot, telling you to stay your ass in the house. I also have this one, which you saw in another video, with the Spice Girls and saying, if you want to be my lover, you gotta avoid public restrooms, work from home if possible, wash your hands, avoid touching your face, and avoid crowded places. And you can take my word for it, because I ain't getting paid for this, okay? I keep it real. That's why y'all should watch me, because I keep it 100. I don't even put ads on my videos. I could, but I don't want you to have to sit through all them commercials. So, since I'm not like them other people that'll get paid or sent stuff for free, and they're like, oh my God, these are so awesome. You guys gotta check them out. No. I bought these, and I like them, and she has a lot of cute stuff, and they're comfortable, especially since I have glasses, and I want to plug it. So hit that shit up. Go buy some of them. And she's black. Support black businesses. Now, on to the theme song. Don't you love my little bun? I'm just excited to have enough hair to put into a ponytail because I typically would not grow my hair out this much. But we're in a pandemic. Anything can happen. Speaking of which, why is it that people get so pressed when you say in a pandemic in response to some outlandish shit that they're doing? Like, there's an article talking about vacation shaming. That's not a fucking thing. Let me look into the camera for this because I usually look at myself because I'm cute. I'm looking at the camera today. This is not a thing. Like, okay, we're in a global pandemic. This is a very contagious and sometimes deadly disease. So by going out and doing things that you shouldn't fucking be doing, you're helping to contribute to the pandemic. You can't even be like, well, I'm grown and this doesn't involve anybody else, doesn't affect anybody else. Yes, it does. Because the more people continue to go out and act like nothing is happening, then the longer this is going to take for it to go back to any semblance of normalcy. And you're fucking up for the rest of us. So is that where the camera is? Is that the camera? Oh, this little green dot. I feel like T.S. Madison. Is it recording? But why are you going on vacation? Like, I've seen so many people. Yes, tickets are cheaper, but that's because you shouldn't fucking be flying. Somebody I know said now is the perfect time to travel. Is it? I know people who have gone to Mexico and all kind of islands and Las Vegas and Miami and all these COVID hotspots. And then when you say something, don't be putting that shit on my page. Don't say that. Okay, well, why are you posting it? If I was going to go on vacation, which I wouldn't because I'm not an irresponsible dickhead, I wouldn't fucking post it. And if I did post it, I would be prepared for the backlash and I would just be like, well, that's what fucking happens. Like, you can't be doing some crazy shit and get mad when people reply. Like, if I was to get on, Facebook or something and say, I support Bill Cosby, free him, or R. Kelly is a wonderful man, I would expect some fucking backlash. And I wouldn't be like, well, how dare you say anything? But the thing is, people in general, and especially on social media, they want yes men, and they want people to gas them up and agree with them and co-sign everything they say. And when you don't do that, then you're a hater, you're being negative, you're starting shit, you're being rude, you're being messy because you're not hanging on their every word. People like people that are going to just agree with them. And I'm not one of those people. I'm not going to just agree to agree or whatever. I'm not saying I'm going to be rude about it, but I'm going to state my opinion. And if you don't fucking like it, then that's just too bad. But this isn't really something to debate about. This is, again, a global pandemic. Why are you going out to eat? Or do you like to go out to eat that fucking bad? I mean, I enjoy a good 2 for $20 just as much as the next fucking person, but I don't need to take my black ass and sit in a fucking restaurant. Or why are you going to a bar? Why are you going to the club? Like, are these things that important that you're going to risk your life? Is it really to die for? Is it? And then people say, well, I need to work too. Yes, I agree. I definitely agree. Luckily, I have a job where I can stay at home. But if I didn't and I was a waitress or a DJ, a bartender, while I would, still go to work, if I had no other options, I would understand if people felt that my place of business should be closed because it's not essential. So while I could definitely sympathize with that and say, that's super fucked up, do what you got to do, if you were to ask me, oh, well, do you agree that they should be closed? Because somebody put on Facebook, why do people think that bars should be closed? And I was stating facts about why they should fucking be closed. And they got in their feelings about it. And like, how am I supposed to pay my bills? Mind you, they just went on a luxury vacation. So clearly they're not hurting for coins. But I get that. I was like, yeah, you should be getting something from the government. There should be another stimulus. You should get XYZ. And I get that you are still going to go to work. And I'm not saying don't go to work, but if you are asking, why do people feel like bars should be closed, or do you feel like bars should be closed? I'm going to answer, and my answer is yes. They should be fucking closed because you don't need to do that shit. People are being irresponsible as fuck. Luckily, where I live, most people, pretty much everybody, even the homeless people or, the crackheads walking down the street, everybody's wearing a fucking mask. There's no question about it. There's very few times where I see people not in a mask, and if the most I see is people don't put them over their nose, but for the most part, people keep them on. Even if they got them on as chin straps because they're on the phone or drinking or whatever, they're pretty good about it. But not everybody is, especially in a lot of other states, a lot of major cities. People don't give a fuck. And the longer they don't give a fuck and they're going to bars, going to clubs, going to restaurants and all of that, the longer this is going to last. I would love to be able to go to a club or go out to eat and go to the movies. Like, there's a lot of things I wasn't doing that much. Like, I hadn't been to a club in probably a year. Well, 2019, the summer of 2019 was probably the last time I went to a club. I hadn't been going to the movies like that, but the fact that I can't is bothering me because I want to. Now that you're saying you can't do it, now I want to do it. I want to do it, but we can't do it until y'all fucking act right. So you can't get pressed if somebody says, why are you doing this in a pandemic? Because you shouldn't fucking be doing it. And that's why you're mad. You're not mad at me for calling you out. You're mad because you know you shouldn't be doing it. And I'm acknowledging that you shouldn't fucking be doing it. And you want to just act like it's okay. And you want everybody to ignore that you're being reckless as fuck. But no, that's not how the world works. Take your fucking lashings, damn it. Because yes, you should be shamed and you should feel bad. Because you are going to fucking get it and die. And that's on you. But it's going to hurt other people as well. But I feel like this is something that should be taken seriously. So you can't get mad because somebody is pointing out that you're doing some fucked up shit. And then people try to focus on other things like, well, you do this. Because I went and got my fucking candles from Bath & Body Works. And I did go to the mall, but it was not that fucking crowded. And we were in line, social distancing, and they only let a couple people in the store at a time. And again, everybody had on masks. Now, I've mainly been going to outdoor malls because if I'm going to go to a mall, I'd rather be outside. But I've gone like during the middle of the week or in the afternoon or really late at night. Like if I go to Target, I just went to Target and it was nobody in there because they're about to close. So I'm not going at peak times. And I did go in Macy's once when I went to a mall. And when I saw many people were in there, I took my ass out because it was too fucking crowded. So I'm being cautious. I'm being safe. I wipe down my groceries. I don't go to a lot of places that are deemed safe because I want it to be over. And I feel like it's not fair. Life isn't fair, but it's not fair that the people that are taking it seriously are missing out on stuff that we could be doing, and we're, trying to do our part, as where the people that clearly don't give a fuck are living life, going out to eat, going on vacation, do whatever they want, and we're suffering because they don't know how to act. It's like when you're in class and you're being quiet because you want a treat or whatever, and there's this one person in the back of the room, loud as shit, that fucks it up for the whole goddamn class, but they don't give a fuck because they're enjoying their life and doing what the fuck they want to do, and that's how I feel. I wish everybody that didn't want to wear a mask and didn't want to, do what they should be doing could just be put on an island somewhere where they can do whatever the fuck they want. They can all catch it and just have a great old time. And those of us that want to act right get to stay over here on the mainland and do what we need to do. Because in these other countries where they're back to normal, it's because everybody did what they should do. But nobody wants to do that. Like, I've stayed at home for a week at a time since this has happened. I did have a birthday party in October, but it hadn't spiked yet. Had it spiked, I would have canceled that shit. But even then, I told everybody they need to keep their mask on. Had to wash your hands as soon as you came in. We sprayed people's stuff down with Lysol, wiped off their phones with little wipes, and I kept it at a safe number. I mean, I did, the safe thing to do. But had the numbers been really high at that time, I would have just fucking canceled it. But that was kind of a time where things were dying down, and I still had all those precautions. because that's just the safe fucking thing to do. I've not flown anywhere, except for when my father died and I had to go, to the funeral, and that was right at the beginning. He literally died like the day before everything started shutting down. But even then, we were being super safe then, because that was at the beginning of it. But I haven't flown anywhere. The only time I went out of town, I have been in my car, so I'm not exposing myself or anything like that. And I haven't stayed at a hotel or anything like that. So I am doing my fucking part, and not no one, but a lot of people aren't. Even when my friends, like, there's few friends, there's like 2 people I've let come over other than my boyfriend in the past, maybe 2 months, and we keep our mask on. I was hanging out with my friend the other day. We went to the thrift store or whatever, and it was super empty in there. And we went to Target, and we kept our mask on the whole time, even in the car. And she don't even go nowhere, and I don't go nowhere like that. But just to be safe, we are just doing what we need to do, and nobody else is doing that. Not nobody, but a lot of people are not doing that. And then they have the nerve to have an attitude when you call them out for it. Oh, I'm grown, and I can do what I want. And blah, blah. Yeah, you are grown, but you need to take your grown ass in the house and put a mask on. Like, this woman was going off on me the other day. I don't know why, because I did a U-turn on my street, and I guess she's the traffic police. Not that that's illegal to do a U-turn. And I even stopped so she could cross with her dog, like, before the crosswalk, because she looked like she was about to cross, and she flipped me over. So, of course, I cussed her ass out. And I was like, take your ass in the house and put on a fucking mask. She was definitely a Karen. White people think they control the world. But I'm just like, you're doing all this. You try to get in my face, and you don't even have a fucking mask on. You worried about the wrong fucking thing. Me doing a U-turn. She's like, what the hell are you doing? Doing a U-turn? Let me how to drive. I didn't know U-turns were illegal on residential streets. Apparently they are now. But I'm like, you're doing all of this, and you're not even doing the basic shit of wearing a fucking mask. And I haven't, been on social media a lot lately. I'm on a little hiatus because I just can't deal with people right now. But nonstop vacations, like, everybody's going on vacation. Everybody's having parties and, going to weddings and just doing all this stuff like the world is normal and everything is back to normal, when it's the worst it's been, and it's not going to get any better anytime soon. And it's just hard to not be like in a pandemic, really, because it's just like, how can I ignore this? How can I act like nothing is going on just because you want to live in a fantasy world? You can't expect everybody else to do that. So I feel like if you're going to do this shit, you're going to post about it, prepare to, I don't want to say suffer the consequences, but expect people to have some shit to say. Because people were talking shit about me going to the mall, and I was like, that's fine. And I explained, that I was being safe or whatever. And people had shit to say about my birthday party, which is fine. Like, I accepted that, was something that may happen, because to some people that what I'm doing is too much. And I don't think it is, but, people are going to have some shit to say. And I don't feel like people are justified in being mad that somebody had the nerve to call out that they're not being safe in a fucking global pandemic. And I'm pretty sure I have the coronavirus. I need to get the antibody test. But in the beginning of the pandemic, and like before it really was, really going around like that, but in like February, January, I was sick for a month. I've never been that sick before. It was really fucking bad. And I went to the doctor and I asked for the coronavirus test. And back then they wouldn't give it to you unless you had like really severe symptoms. Now they're giving it to everybody, but I'm pretty sure I had it. And I wouldn't want that again. Thank God I don't have like some really horrible pre-existing condition, because there are people that have permanently lost their sense of taste, permanently lost their sense of smell, permanently on oxygen. Like, this is fucking serious. And of course you can die from it. I know a lot of people that have had it, they act like it's nothing, like, oh, it's no big deal, whatever. I'm like, it is a big deal. I know people that have died from it, like relatives, aunts and uncles. Like, it is a big fucking deal. And I feel like it's disrespectful and rude for people, and this is an understatement, to be so callous about it and then flaunt it and then have the nerve to get mad when called out on it. Get the fuck out of here. But anyway, that was my little coronavirus rant for the day. Get your fucking mask from High Tea Kettle to protect yourself from these motherfuckers out there, because she knows somebody that worked side by side with someone for hours and hours who got the coronavirus, but they were wearing one of her masks and they didn't fucking get it. So damn it, this is the mask that I'm gonna goddamn be wearing, with this thick ass fabric and Lori Lightfoot staring me down, telling me to stay my ass in the house. And that's all I have to say about it. I ain't gonna say nothing else for now. I gotta remember to edit this because I'm gonna sneeze.